Indoor cycling is great. It's a really efficient way to improve your fitness when you can't cycle outdoors. Now that might be because the weather's bad or you're time crunched and you're trying to fit in workouts around other life commitments, or, as is the situation right now, you're self-isolating inside because there's a global pandemic. Whatever your reason, it doesn't matter. Here are our essential hacks to improve your indoor riding experience. And we've also taken inspiration from some of your submissions in the app. So if you've got any of your own hacks that aren't included in this video that you think others would benefit from, then download the app and share them there. Quick disclaimer before I give you the hacks. Because of self-isolation, I am actually self-shooting this video myself. So if it's not up to the usual high standards that you've come to expect on GCN, that's why. Sorry, doing my best. We're in this together. Tip number one, use fans. This is because riding indoors can get really hot and really sweaty. And that's because you don't have the cooling effect of the air rushing past you that you normally get when you're riding outside. Now without this, you can heat up really quickly. You can actually see your heart rate rise more than it would do when you're riding outside, which can make indoor training much more difficult. Now I say use fans, plural, deliberately, because I'm a big fan of using two. So I use my Wahoo Kicker Headwind, which is a brilliant fan. It's a cycling specific product, and it can actually adjust the amount of air and the intensity of that air depending on how fast you're riding, which is really cool. But I also like to position a second fan at about sort of 3 o'clock to where I'm riding, and this just gives me a bit more side cooling as well. But it's personal preference how many fans you use, but definitely some form of cooling is beneficial. Also, bonus fan hack for you, unless you're strong with the force, then I'd suggest choosing a fan that allows you to control it remotely, such as the Wahoo Headwind, which you can control through your phone. Our next hack is to use a mat. That's because indoor training can get really noisy, and mats are great at dampening that noise and helping absorb some of the sound. That is, unless of course you really want to annoy your neighbours. Now you can use a dedicated mat, such as my rather fancy Wahoo one, but if you don't have one of those, or if you're on a bit more of a budget, then other things work well too, such as a yoga mat, that's a good hack, or just a towel or an old rug. We've also seen some brilliant noise dampening solutions submitted in the GCN app, such as this rather fantastic creation, which utilises some MDF, some tennis balls cut in half, and, well, some egg cartons. What else? Apparently it works. I can't verify that, but apparently it does. It also acts as a rocker plate. Pretty cool. Mats are also useful for collecting sweat and stopping that go all over your carpet as well. It's also worth pointing out that one of the differences between more expensive indoor trainers, such as a Wahoo Kicker, and budget options is the amount of noise that they create. More expensive ones are a lot quieter. We'd recommend you have some kind of table next to you that puts everything at easy reach that you're going to need. It's also a great place to put your tablet or your computer if you're going to be using that. Now you can get dedicated tables for this, but if you don't have one of those, then you could just use a table. But if you don't have one of those, then, well, take your pick. There's so many hacks out there. You can use a music stand. They're really inexpensive. You can often pick them up on eBay for not much money. You could use an ironing board. I mean, they're basically a height adjustable scissor table. Or if you're really cheap, like me, you can use the cardboard box that your Wahoo Kicker trainer came in. Yes. Look at that. Put all my treats and snacks there. Oh God, look at that, looks great, doesn't it? Brilliant. Brilliant. Very feng shui. As we've mentioned, riding indoors can get really sweaty. Now, do you remember that scene from Alien, where the alien's acid blood nearly melts all the way through the spaceship? Well, that is what your sweat is going to do to your bike and headset bearings. That might be a massive exaggeration, but your salty sweat isn't going to do the bearings in your bike any favours whatsoever. So it's a good idea to try and protect them in some way. Now, the most basic thing you can do is get a towel and drape it over your handlebars. This will also help you mop up sweat as you're riding along, but it also helps protect your headset area. You can also get dedicated covers which you can buy that like strap on like that and help cover it. They're pretty sort of useful. But as a hack, you could also use an apron. In my case, a GCN apron. Check this out. Simply get the apron, like so. Put that part around your seat post and then pull it over your handlebars. You can even have it so you can see your Wahoo. And then use the apron straps to keep it nice and narrow. And tie it round. Look at that. I don't know, I think these up, you know, I scare myself sometimes. Look at that, sweat protector made of an apron. Brilliant. Use a riser block under your front wheel. Now, there are some exceptions to this. Not all turbo trainers require it, such as the Wahoo Kicker I'm using, but many trainers out there require something under the front wheel to lift it up to make the bike level. Without it, you feel like you're riding downhill and you'll put extra pressure on your hands too. Sometimes you might want to rise the front wheel even more as well to angle the bike up to make it feel like you're sort of riding uphill, as this actually recruits your muscles in a different way. Now, you can get dedicated riser blocks. These products do exist, but if you don't have one, don't worry. There's plenty of hacks, namely in the form of books. I mean, use whatever you like. I'm personally a big fan of the Noma Guide to Fermentation, nice and thick, and also my PhD thesis comes in, well, it's really useful. Be sure to have some great entertainment while you're riding indoors. Even with the best will in the world, without any form of stimulation in front of you, riding on an indoor trainer will get very boring very quickly. I mean, like majorly boring, even more boring than watching a PowerPoint presentation on the rates at which paint dries. But fear not, there are loads of amazing entertainment solutions out there. It can be really simple. I like putting some banging tunes on and watching some old cycling races on YouTube to get me in the mood. That's always entertaining. Or, I mean, there's loads of indoor training apps now as well, so you can get them on your tablet, your smartphone, or your laptop, and take your pick. There's something out there for everyone, whether it's Zwift or Sufferfest. I think they're my personal favourites, but there's also things that are completely free, such as our own GCN indoor workouts. We've got everything from 20-minute, quick, short, sharp, intense efforts, right through to sort of hour-long epics. And at the moment, we're also doing our live workouts every morning while the outbreak's on.
It's a great start to your day, or night, wherever you are in the world.
In case you're wondering, for my personal setup, what I actually do is get my laptop and then connect it with an HDMI cable into my TV, and that way I have a nice big screen with some good speakers for whatever entertainment I choose, and personally I like to mix it up. Because riding indoors gets so hot and sweaty, if you're going to be doing it at length, then we definitely recommend you have plenty of hydration to hand. Riding indoors without hydration, that's about as sensible as trying to play a game of catch the balloon with an uncoordinated hedgehog. So use your table or the bottle cages on your bike to make sure that you've got plenty of water to hand. Something I find helps as well is to use salt tabs in your drink as well to keep you hydrated and making sure you're replenishing those electrolytes you lose through sweat. If you don't have hydration tabs, fear not. You can use a pinch of salt in your water bottle. Time can pass really slowly when you're on an indoor trainer, so a couple of hacks to help time pass more quickly are as follows. Firstly, go on a group ride. Now you can do this in apps such as RGT and also Zwift, but there's other apps as well. Or you could just simply get up a FaceTime or a conference call, Zoom, Google Hangout, whatever your preferred app is, it doesn't matter. Get your friends on there, and then as you ride along, you can have a chat like you were on a normal group ride. This will help make time pass much more quickly and feel much more social. Another great hack is to do a double day. I'm a big fan of this. So in the morning, you get up and you do a session. I like to do a little fasted session before breakfast, 30 to 45 minutes long. And then later on in the day, I'll do another session about 45 minutes to an hour long. That way, I can sometimes get in 2 hours of indoor training, but it doesn't feel like 2 hours. It's literally been, well, 2 hour long sessions, maybe. Anyhow, it's a great way to get in more training without it becoming mind-numbing. Now, I hope you found these indoor hacks useful, and let us know what your hacks are in the comments down below, and let us know how you're getting on with your indoor training these days. And also, if you'd like to share any hacks that we've not included, then you can do by uploading them to the GCN app. So, I'll see you next time. Hopefully you found this useful. And I know my houseplant is in need of some love, care and attention. I'm working on it. Cheeky indoor bonus hack for you. Now, if the people that you live with want you to disassemble your indoor training setup and put it away, but you can't be bothered to do this, then disguise it as a drying rack. I mean, no one will ever know. The trick is to completely cover it. That way, when you cover it in your laundry, it's just the perfect crime. Let's put I think I'll just put my pants there like that. There we go. The old bib shorts on there.